Blanky time, it's almost time for Blanky time. Come along and take our hands, we're going to Blanky land.
Welcome back to another fresh episode of Blanky Time.
Hello?
It may sound Matt sounds a little sick this week,
Hey everybody, I'm Matt.
and that's because it's not actually Matt at all. It is the fabled,
Huh.
elusive Eef.
Whoa!
And if you've been listening to the pod for a while, because we only got like 10 listeners that are consistent, and you know that Eef
And one of them is me.
is one of the consistent listeners, and he's also done a decent amount of the thumbnail art for us.
And there's a lot of works in progress, baby.
Yeah, which there's still some works in progress. We've gone low budget recently, where I'm basically just like putting stock photos and deep frying pictures.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Me and Matt. Just as long as I avoid AI art, which that would be a good thing to talk about.
Sure.
Since you're kind of in that
Me and the robots got beef.
you and the robots have beef. Eef has beef with the robots.
I like to say, like, the newest thing that I like saying to people is do not feed the robots. Like, every time you use the AI, you're giving them something to use.
Yeah, which there's actually been some recent news with the AGI, artificial general intelligence. Did you hear about that?
I was reading about that.
That's very
Also,
scary.
is the mic good where I am right now?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to hold it at, like, a 45-degree angle.
Optimal trebuchet launching angle.
Stare at it like it's like the exact distance of what you hope, like I don't know, like that's when you like notice something is coming at your face, like when someone like throws a baseball at you,
Yeah.
it's like right there.
So you're saying this is when you notice it?
Yeah,
Before
it
hits you?
I have terrible depth perception. That's
Hey, catch!
bop.
Da, da, na, 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 na.
Yeah.
Bang.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, AGI, if you don't know, is artificial general intelligence, and that's the thing most intellectuals and peeps that kind of understand AI are afraid of, because the AI we have right now with like ChatGPT and things like that is still technically in the cage, per se, where AGI isn't. It's allowed to free range artificial intelligence.
Just let it run out of the enclosure.
Yeah, and so that's when you get into Ultron type situations.
Man, voiced by James Spader.
Yeah, you're big on the names. You know lots of people's names. And stuff.
I got to, man. That's just part of the job.
It's part of the job.
Part of the job.
So speaking of jobs, I would say like right now the art thing's kind of just like a passion project that you sometimes get monies for occasionally.
Yeah.
But you actually have like a quote unquote 9 to 5.
I do.
That's somewhat. It's pretty interesting, I would say. So what is that you do?
Well, I mean, I would say like jokingly, which one? No, I'm kidding. But the main job I have is I work in a warehouse. I'm like they call me the senior operations specialist.
The old man.
Because I've been there so long. Meaning like 2 years.
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
Yeah, pretty much. Part of the ship, part of the crew, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I work with my buddy Eric on there. He got there on the ground floor because it's like a family business. Part of the family business. Like his uncle owns the company.
Italians with the biodegradable water bottles.
I'm pretty sure they're like somewhere from the UK, honestly. Like Peaky Blinders kind of thing,
I would say if Puddleglum's species was
that is a deep cut.
A
silver chair.
If Puddleglum's species was related to some UK peoples, Eric would be from there.
Eric would be a marsh wiggle.
Yeah, that's what they're called?
Yeah,
right?
they're called
That
marsh
sounds like
wiggles.
a slur.
I think, dude, it's not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure C.S. Lewis made those up. Either that, or they're like cryptids from England.
Cryptids from England.
Yeah.
Them daggum marsh wiggles.
We're in
out
the
there.
wigwam of a marsh wiggle.
That sounds so bad.
It does sound really
Butterbum's
bad.
my favorite character in that one.
I know. Well, it's because he's so down to earth. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why people like him so much. He's
And
like, hello.
Well, his
Glum.
his peoples didn't like him because he was too positive, and he's not positive at all.
Wow.
You remember
yeah,
that?
comparatively
Yeah.
to the rest of the crew, yeah. Man.
So, anyways, the
Tolkien could
warehouse.
Never. The warehouse.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, the warehouse. We make paper water bottles, and they're pretty cool. We sell them by the pallet, and we just put the labels on them. We put them together. It's just like storage and assembly, you know.
Yeah. So, I've been to the warehouse before,
Yes, he has.
and the way the bottles are, and Eric is aware of this, seems a bit deceiving.
It
Right?
does, yeah.
Because so in the warehouse they basically glue these like cardboard shells onto the outside of what appears to be just any old plain water bottle.
Yeah, it looks
But
plastic.
yeah, it looks plastic, but in fact the quote unquote water bottle part that's in the center is actually still biodegradable.
Yeah.
And I feel like at least that might be a hang up for some people.
Yeah, for sure. Totally. I mean, I'm kind of glad that they have like the paper shells on the outside, because then it's like easier to like sell to people, be like, "Hey, this is actually paper." You know?
But is it though? That's the question.
It is. It is.
Are the
You can grow a tree in it, bro.
is the water bottle part made from trees?
It's made from like resin, so sap.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's all tree based.
I recently learned the difference between resin and rosin, which
There-
is pretty interesting.
There's a difference.
Yes. So,
Tell us.
resin is like the liquid goopity form of rosin. And rosin is when it's hard and cured. So maybe they start out as resin and then turn into rosin.
So wait a minute.
Rosin water bottles. This is great.
Wait, so rosin is like the plasma, or is this like a state of
No,
matter? or-
resin, like out of a tree, like a pine tree.
No, I know that, but like, explain the rosin one more time.
So, if you look this up, I challenge you. Google this. It is the most difficult description of the difference, and I got it distilled down. Okay, so you go out. You're on a murdering streak on some pine trees, and you slash them up, right?
Yep.
You
all
stab
blended.
them.
Yep.
You come back like the next day, and there's like clear goopity stuff dripping from
Yes.
the pine tree. That is resin.
Uh-huh.
And you scrape it up and you put it in a box and you let it sit there.
Yeah.
And then it turns hard. And now it has metamorphosized into rosin.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was right. It was like states of matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
So
Cool.
the real question is, does resin have like a different name when it's in its like gas form? You know? Is it RAS?
It's raw.
Raw. Raw. You
It's just like
you got rosin, resin, and
It's just like a cough. It's
that's what the
no one
pine
can
trees.
no one can like say the whole word because they're like breathing it in too much.
That's like the does the tree actually make a sound when it falls in the woods and no
Yeah,
one's
it does.
there? It just goes.
No,
It's
no,
just
no.
coughs.
You want to know what it sounds like?
Sure.
Oh, I'm falling. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Too bad trees don't have life alert though.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
skill issue.
So you're the senior head old person of the factory warehouse place.
Yes.
So like you're just kind of gluing stuff and packing stuff and
Yeah, man. We get
All
all
that
kinds
jazz.
of people working there. Like to those of you listening, if you guys want like a summer job or a winter break job, DM me on Instagram on my art page.
Yeah, go ahead and plug your art page.
Okay.
While you're at it.
It is brother1_art. That's it.
That's the one.
That's the one. I've been using that since I graduated from high school, I think.
So what's the meaning behind the name? Because
I'm so glad you asked.
I don't remember if I've ever asked you that.
So it has a double meaning, I guess. Well, like so I'll tell you how it inspired me. So
One's a brother and one's a one.
yeah,
It's got two meanings.
so I started drawing seriously in my junior year of high school. Like that's when I started doing stuff like digitally. Like we got iPads. At my school.
At
that one school.
At that one school that shall not be named.
Yeah, they got beef with like divorced families, dude.
Huh? With
Yeah.
families?
Yeah,
Like
it's like consistently.
the
like,
school caused divorces?
No. No, like they would give like divorced families a hard time. Like yeah,
because of the
because they believe
foundations.
so much in the sanctity of marriage.
Even
but
if they were like really bad and toxic and actually
that's just a rumor.
gave
It's
the
just the
reasons
hot
that
goss.
well, because it's like in the Bible there's actually some like there's very specific
Yeah,
things that are
there-
like, hey, if this happens, you are
Yeah.
in your right to.
That's in the law of Moses.
Yeah.
But
law and
that's just I'm just saying that's just the gossip. Don't shoot the messenger now. I'm a degenerate.
Which nobody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, whatever.
Only
Only a select
few.
few. So I don't take my word as gospel. But that's when I started drawing seriously when I was like a junior in high school. And it was trash. Like I look back at like my art back then and it is garbage. But I mean, it's all practice. It was all practice because I started watching this guy on YouTube. His name is Brother Baston.
Baston.
Yep, he's Finnish,
Ooh.
I believe. And
Did he ever finish his drawings?
yes, he did.
Ooh.
You bet he did, dude. So he would have drawing tutorials, and he would like post his drawing time lapses and everything. And so I learned a lot from this guy. Plus another guy, Draw with Jazza.
Yes, I was about to say, did you ever watch Jazza?
Yep, he had that huge YouTube playlist of everything. But
Yeah.
like mostly, I learned from Baston.
He recently Jazza did a recent video where he drew and then sculpted like monsters and beings from the Bible,
Oh
like based off of how he interpreted them.
Yeah.
And he was like, if this video gets over 1 million likes, then I'll do a part 2. And it was like, it's already at like 2
Oh,
million
heck
or
yeah.
whatever.
That's awesome.
Anyways,
for him.
Continue. Saint Gaston or whatever his name was.
Brother Baston. This guy, y'all need to like go watch his stuff. He's so cool. He did this one thing where it was called like Summer of World Building, where he like drew all of the elements of like a fictional world that he would need to tell a story, and then it was choose your own adventure sort of style, and he would draw like a comic of this one character, and the viewers could choose the next part of the adventure. It was very, very interesting, and I really want to do something like that somewhere down the line. But
Like a whole world building exercise.
yeah,
Art
I
thing.
I got a couple in the oven.
Yeah, which I think I've seen like you had some original like villains and superhero character
Oh, yeah.
things that
Dude,
you
I'm a sucker for superheroes.
had in the background.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny story that happened recently was me and Eef were at a friend's wedding.
Oh.
And she was getting married, and the DJ looked like the guy who wrote X-Men, which you know
He
his
looked
name.
exactly like Chris Claremont.
Yes, he looked exactly like him, and his first name was Chris.
Yeah.
And so,
I-
didn't
I
you
w-
go over there and
I
ask him?
did. I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, I have a weird question." And basically he was like, "Oh, I'm not that guy, but thank you." And I'm like, "If you ever meet him,
You're
you
not
gotta,
that guy.
you got to take a picture with him." Like, because they looked like they were brothers,
Yeah.
like for sure.
He did his best that night with the DJ situation.
Who? What?
The DJ guy, he did his best.
Yeah.
Remember during the service when everybody was walking in?
No.
What was the song that?
So that's "Sweet
Was
Child
it?
of Mine."
Yes.
Yeah. So while the flower girls were walking down the aisle, the song ended that they were walking up with. You know, it was like one of those like cello covers of like 1,000 Years or something. You know,
I saw my reflection.
no, not that
Was
one.
it that
It
one?
was I have died every day waiting for you. That one.
Yes.
And so they were walking up to that, and the flower girls were like halfway, and then "Sweet Child of Mine" started playing. And so he's like, "Oh shoot!"
But
And-
instead of like doing like a hard fade, he just like stopped, paused, and then like jumped halfway. Chiba Liba jumped halfway through the song that was playing.
Yeah.
So the cut was so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my
But like, you know what? He was doing his best.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to take those kind of hiccups in stride, you know.
Yeah.
As two of us being in performances before, you got to just kind of take them in stride, you know.
Yeah. So speaking of performances, me
Oh,
and
we're jumping
Eef
right- Nice segue.
are what you would call theater people. You know, we
Yeah,
dabble in
We
the.
pretty much we've been in some performances.
We've been in some major performances.
together. We've been
and-
in a musical with two.
Have we done?
It's
Well, have,
Pretty crazy.
have we done a musical together?
We almost did.
Oh yeah, almost. So it's kind of funny. Like the
Oh,
first time, like I met you.
Yeah.
Was that, and we were
Really?
I think so, cause like I think I kind of knew of you.
I went to school with Scott.
Yeah, and so you went to school with my sister, and so
Yeah.
like y'all were kind of like buddies when you were kids.
Am I allowed to say her name?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
We
I
name
didn't want to
drop all the
dox
time.
anybody.
No, we.
Yeah. I have a strict code on like I will only say first names.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, you knew my sister, and then like I kind of knew you through some mutual friends,
Hmm.
and then we were going to be in a performance together, and
That's a whole can of worms
yeah,
too.
our roles were like partners.
Yeah, we were
Is
gonna be like
Not that kind of partner, like
it was gonna be like a
like
a henchman situation.
henchmen, kind of like in Hercules. What's their faces?
Like
The blue and red.
Wrath and Scorn. I don't know.
Yeah, it was gonna
Is
be
it Wrath and Scorn? I don't know. Who cares?
something like that.
Who
Something a
cares?
lot like that.
Who cares?
And so that's kind of when we first were like hanging out and
Yeah.
like meeting, and I feel like we hit it off, and then that show just like died for some reason. Anyways, that's where we first met.
Yeah.
And so then after the show switched, didn't you leave?
Yeah, because I was only there because he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this show again, but I want you in this role."
When did you get a part of the theater,
The
That-
studio now.
the studio now?
I started last year. Like I started working here in like 2022.
Okay, so
Yeah.
was Clue your first show?
Mhm.
Here?
Yeah.
Because that
Like,
was
ever.
wow. Okay, so yeah, we ended up doing Clue together, which was my first show back in theater after like a hiatus. Because junior year, I decided to take a break.
Yeah.
From theater and dance and everything, and then I came back to the studio, and we did Clue together, and that was a lot of fun. If you
It was a
know
blast.
anything about the show Clue, it is based off of the movie, which is based off of the board game, and
The board game, the play, the movie.
yeah, yes. And so Ethan was Professor Plum,
You betcha. I was a little scumbag.
a little scumbag, and I was Mr. Body, and also the chief of police, and the iterations of the chief of police at the very end.
Yeah. You had some quick changes back there.
Yes,
With the
yes,
facial
I did.
hair. It's great.
So, like, what from that show? Do you have like any specific like memories or stories that kind of came
I think
from that?
the best part of it was just coming up with just like funny bits. that we would do like in rehearsal, and then they would like either we would cut them for time, like just for like the sake of like continuity,
Yeah.
or we would like keep them and see if like the audience would notice, you know. I think my favorite one that I did was when they did like the rewinding thing at the end of the show,
Yeah.
where and the butler is like, "Gentlemen, turn out your pockets." And after I did my thing, where I was revealed to be, you know, the main bad guy,
Yeah.
and then they did the alternate ending, I would turn out my pockets, and like my weapon would be like sticking out of my pocket, and then I'd be like, "Oh," like, and look at the audience like, "You didn't see that, did you?"
And just waiting for the
Just
part that you
someone
would...
to see it.
Well, like, did you get called out first in that lineup?
I was the first one, yeah.
Yes, you were the first, but then
And then it
after
was
that, you still
mustard,
had
yeah.
the gun.
Yeah, where was I gonna put it?
Because, you know, okay, to explain the ending a little bit.
Without giving anything away.
Basically, I bust in as the chief of police, and they're like, arrest Professor Plum. He's the guy who did this. And so then we like have a little bit of dialogue, and it freezes, and somebody would say, "Wait, that's not how it happened."
Yeah,
and we
the
would
guy that's
reverse
like being
the scene.
accused,
Yeah.
it, like comes forward and is like, "That's not how it happened. It happened like this."
Yeah.
And then we rewind.
And so a rewind, I'd have to run all the way back upstage, and then replay the scene in the different scenarios. And so
man.
it was.
But like, it was so worth it. It was hilarious. It was so great. But I was sweating like a dog up there.
Oh, dude, it
They
was
got
so
me in
hot.
so many layers.
Yeah, because it's like in the freaking, what, the 30s?
Yeah.
When
Or
40s?
30s or 40s, yeah.
30, 40s it was based in.
The Red
and so,
Scare.
And so we had like freaking like wool overcoats and like suits and crud on stage, and we were
I had
cooking.
sweat just dripping off my nose that whole show.
Yeah.
My hair was drenched. I was glistening.
Glistening and
Like people could tell from like the back, being like, "Are you like? What kind of makeup did you use?" I was like,
it washed off.
It washed off like almost immediately. Like the collar of the shirt that I was wearing,
Yeah.
completely
Was just,
soggy.
Yeah, caked in like makeup
Yeah.
juices and.
I felt bad for Miss Scarlet because we had that one scene where we slow danced.
Yeah.
So like I apologized to her during the rehearsal. I'd be like, "I'm so sorry. I'm kind of sweaty today." She's like, "It's fine. It's fine." And then when we got to like the actual performance, I'd be like, "I am so sorry.
I'm a bit drenched.
I'm just a little sweaty over here.
Sweaty.
It's a little crazy."
No, that was definitely fun, and I think it was like a good way to like kick off sort of re-meeting and kindling our friendship
Absolutely.
again. And then this year, the show that we're doing, we have an interesting dynamic because we're technically more involved,
Yeah.
character-wise.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So has the show been announced on
I don't
the
think
World Wide Web?
officially. I don't
Okay.
think officially.
All right. Well,
We'll keep that under wraps.
We'll keep that under wraps for now.
Yeah, but you'll see if we post something, you'll see it.
Yeah, which this is coming out next week. So
Wow.
wait, when's that gonna be? This
What a turnaround.
is getting close to Quimus time.
Crimbus.
So that would be
Merry Crimbus.
Mary Chrysler, the 21st.
Oh wow.
So getting pretty close to Jesus's birthday.
Ain't that just the way?
So since it's Christmas season and all that stuff,
Y'all
is
got some beef with Christmas.
going on.
Y'all got some beef.
I wanted to know if you had like any Quimus, if you had any Quimus pet peeves or anything of that nature that, because you've been listening to the podcast somewhat recently, and you kind of know some of me and Matt's opinions about Christmas time and everything. So I'm curious if you have any counterpoints or things to add to the pet peeve list.
Okay, so I haven't listened to most of the Christmas episodes that you guys have come out with, so I might be disagreeing with you guys.
Okay.
So A pet peeve of mine, it's just like cringe, like extremely cringe, is when they have like the nativity scene out in the yard,
Uh-huh.
and they have like Santa there too.
What? They have Santa in the nativity?
I saw one where Santa was like kneeling by the manger.
Are you sure it was Santa?
It was Santa. I mean, it wasn't Goku, that's for sure.
Santa kneeling to Jesus. Which, I mean, he was a saint, so.
Dude, I love Saint Nicholas.
Dude, Matt talked about it, how he, like, punched a guy at the Council of Nicaea and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean that kind of matches thematically with Violent Night.
Yo, I was trying to convince Sarah to watch that last night.
It's so good. It's
Because,
such a good romp. I love it.
yeah, I'll get it in this year for sure.
You gotta like catch up on your Letterboxd stuff, like watching movies and then reviewing it on Letterboxd.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
It's so
one.
fun, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Tapped. Do you know what Tapped is?
I'm guessing that's like spelled weird, like TAPT.
I'm not sure how it's spelled,
I'll
but
bet
it's
you it is.
basically like that, but for beer. So
Oh yeah.
whatever brewery you
I'm
go
sure.
to, you like can rate the flavors and stuff and
Oh
whatnot.
gosh. Oh man. They'll make a review app for anything
Yeah.
these days.
It's pretty helpful though sometimes.
For
'cause-
audio listeners, I'm so sorry. I'm a little congested.
Well, you sound fine.
I'm a little stuffy.
Yo, Guffy. So Santa at the nativity scene.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off, man.
I don't think I've
Uh,
noticed that one, but I'll keep my eye out for it.
I think this is just like a main like life thing, but like parents who are Christian, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't want you to talk to strangers, but go sit on that complete stranger's lap and tell them what you want for Christmas. You know what I mean? It's go sit on that big fat stranger's lap.
Yeah.
And then another thing is they're like, "Oh, we want you to believe in this ethereal being that knows when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake.
Uh-huh.
But we also want you to believe in this loving and powerful God." You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we've talked about it. Like I find it very deceitful, and it can cause
Yeah.
a lot of issues.
It's counterproductive.
Like, cause I knew, like when I was in like middle or high school, there was a kid one day who like still believed in Santa in like 7th grade. You know, which that's I worded that weird. I was not in 7th grade with this kid. Like he was in, I was like 9th or 10th
Oh,
grade or
yeah, yeah.
whatever. And
My
yeah.
parents,
Did you ever believe in Santa and like do all that kind of stuff?
I was about to bring that up.
Go for it.
My parents were like, okay, so we're going to play a game. We're going to pretend that Santa is on his way. So you guys go upstairs and we're going to wrap the presents. So like they had all the presents like hidden in a closet.
Yeah.
It was always the closet under the stairs. They still do this to this day. You just like open the closet and there's just like
Stuff in there.
stuff. And
You know what that was in my grandparents' house?
What?
There was just like canned food in there, like
Oh,
jars of sauerkraut and
My grandma
succotash
did that
and stuff.
too.
Yeah, it's like
But
the
it
steps
was-
went up that way, and it's like a weird door.
She did that in the trunk of her car.
Just stored
Yeah.
canned food in her.
That and also like bananas and like eggs. Did you forget they're in there?
But rotten
Oh
banana
man, I
eggs
miss her
smell.
so much. She just had the smelliest car. that big red Buick. So smelly.
Granny's car, it's got low miles. It's a great car,
Oh,
but
man.
it smells like a
She'd have, like-
compost bin.
Yeah, she would have like like frozen bananas
She
in like
was
the
just-
freezer.
Driving a compost on wheels.
She would be like, "Oh, they're still good." And like she'd have like cheese that's like way too old. She's like,
Huh, cheese
just
doesn't
cut
go
off the
bad.
mold.
Yeah, you just cut off
Just
the
cut
mold.
off the mold.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But the bananas and eggs.
Like, okay, so one of my favorite Christmas traditions we used to have was,
Wait, did you complete your thought about like the Santa
Oh.
upstairs thing?
yeah, so that would just be like a really that was a formative memory for me, where my parents were like super truthful about things, just about that in general, because they were like, we don't really want to lie to you.
Okay, so y'all knew it was kind of like a joke.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
yeah.
just kind of felt guilty if they did do the whole Santa thing,
Yeah.
like later on, you know. Um, Let me think.
Because when I was a kid, I was the one that was like, "Sorry, bud, Santa's actually dead." He was a cool guy back in the day, but he's dead.
I like to make up stuff about Christmas, like about those kinds of like Christmas traditions about like Santa. Like I teach one of the theater classes, and I told them about Krampus.
Ooh.
And I told them, if you're bad during the Christmas season,
He'll
he's
beat you with a stick.
He's gonna beat you in a stick, throw you in a basket, and just
Yeah.
go away.
And
you'll be gone.
then you'll become one of Santa's little helpers.
Oh, that's the next part of it then.
I think it is, yeah. Like, all the bad kids get turned into the elves that are forever enslaved by Santa.
Oh, that's actually horrible.
Do you know about the weird poopy guy?
What was it?
The weird poopy guy.
I do know about the Yule lads.
It's like in the 4 to 6 black men that follow Santa around.
No, I'm talking about the Yule lads.
What are the Yule lads?
So I mean, there are like multiple like myths about the Yule lads, but one of them is that they will like come into your house and like steal your presents. So you have to leave like a broom on your stoop. So
a broom on your stoop. Well,
yeah,
this thing you leave something else on your stoop.
Because you have to like, they can't count any higher than 3. So if you put something on your stoop that has multiple like things on it, like they have to count it.
That's sounds a lot like the Appalachian weird witch thingy mabob.
Yeah, it does.
It's like a weird spirit thingy, and that's why
it's
like people would
to like count something.
It's compelled to count or read.
Yeah, but these guys, they can't count up past 3.
They can't get past 3.
No.
So
because if they do, they'll explode.
They'll explode.
Something like that.
And so the broom helps. That's a nicer way to look at it than a demon's trying to get you in your sleep.
Yeah, they're just little guys. They're like, they're dormant up until the Christmas season, and they're like, ooh, a present. And then they try and get in your house.
That's like a gnome, kind of.
Yeah, but they're like grosser.
Gross gnomes. Well,
they're like little slimy guys.
There's a new movie coming out sometime soon called There's Something in the Barn.
Ooh.
And it's about this family that goes to like Finland or something. And it's about gnomes, and they like it's kind of like Gremlins-esque. It looks pretty good.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
We got to go watch that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm excited about
Let's
that
go.
one.
Let's
anyways.
Travel forward in time.
The poopy guy.
Okay, poop goblin.
This is on Wikipedia.
Oh.
It's called the Kaganer. The pronunciation is K upside down E upside down breast cancer ribbon upside down E apostrophe NE. So
oh, it's like the Kagana? Kagana?
Okay.
So it sounds like kaka.
Yeah, basically the kaka man is a figurine depicted in the act of defecating, appearing in nativity scenes in Catalonia.
No!
So we need to replace the Santas with the kaka man.
So Mary and Joseph are in the stable, just having a wonderful moment with their newborn son, and then there's just this guy in the background just going,
Yeah.
That reminds me of like,
Traditionally, the figure is depicted as a peasant wearing traditional Catalan red cap, and with his trouser down, showing his bare backside and defecating. And so apparently,
that reminds me of like marriage photos, but then there's like a dog pooping in the background.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But like, there's some kind of tradition done where you like make a fake poop and you decorate it and stuff. For the kaka man. Yeah.
That sounds similar to like the Yule log.
He's making the Yule log.
You leave out a Yule log for the kaka man.
For the kaka man, so he can make an even.
He'd be like, and he like goes around and rates them.
Oh
like, yeah, that's a 5.
So whoever gets
I
the
can make
best,
bigger.
whoever gets the best rated kaka, gets blessed by the kaka man.
That's so.
Or he'll show
You are
up
cursed
and
with like indigestion for the rest of the year, or
no, I mean
he like
he's pooping in the presence of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in a nativity scene.
which
Maybe the eternal glory that was radiating out of Mary's areas.
Maria's areas.
Maria's areas affected the kaka man's kaka and like
I feel like we need to like say a prayer
magical.
to apologize about talking about this. Oh man. Well, honestly, that is like such a weird Christmas tradition. Like, where's that from?
It's from Catalan.
Where is it?
Do you know what
Catalan?
Catalan is in Spain, like on the border of there in
Oh,
France? So it's sort of like
those nasty little freaks.
yeah, Spanish French people.
Shout out to Catalan.
Shout out to Catalan. They have like their own language and everything, but Spain still like wants them to be a part of Spain.
Are you
But
serious?
they want to be their own thing. Yeah.
They have like centuries long beef.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, Catalan and Spain. This goes out to you. Get along.
I mean, I'm sure they do. Probably.
Calm down.
Yeah.
How would you like take a chill pill?
Take a poopy caca pill. Make some
We
Yule
have solved all the world's problems.
Yeah, I honestly think if we replaced Santa with the caca man in America, the world would be a better place.
What about the Yule lads, man?
Yule lads, I mean, they're just mischievous. Caca man's just doing his thing.
He's just a poopy dude.
He's just a guy who likes pooping.
Yeah, like it's like that one group chat you used to have where you take a picture of your poopies and you send it to the homies and then
Oh
they
man,
rate
you
'em.
did that?
No,
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I got that involuntarily. How would you say that?
Wait, someone sent you
un-
a poopy pic?
Today's podcast is brought to you and powered by two amazing local companies in Raleigh. Tell me a little bit about one of them, Matt.
Yeah, so Grateful Coffee Co. is a specialty coffee roaster in Raleigh. We source amazing coffees from all over the world, roast in small batches, deliver them directly to you, the consumer.
Yes!
So you always get the freshest coffee. We also partner with nonprofits in Guatemala, committed to doing good, investing in stories that actually matter. Your purchase can change the world. You can find out more online at grateful.coffee or on our socials at grateful.coffee.
Wow.
But today's episode is also brought to us by another amazing company. Stone, why don't you tell us about them?
That company is Oak Nut Workshop. Oak nuts, also known as acorns. I don't know where I'm going with that, but Oak Nut Workshop is my craftsmanship company. I make cool stuff. Is literally the best way I can say it. I basically have a problem where I like to do everything. So whether you want custom furniture made, or custom leather goods made, or custom blacksmithed, all sorts of stuff, check out everything that I have made at Oak Nut Workshop on all social medias and things, or on my website at oaknutworkshop.com. You can find my email there. Hit me up if you have anything you want custom made, and we'll design the best thing to suit your needs.
Love it. Add out.
Add out. How do you how would you say that? Involuntarily?
Oh, like
Without consent?
non-consensually?
Yes. My dad would just send me pictures
send
of his
you-
crap
He sent you poopy pics?
all the time.
Dude, you poor thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, I had a dumb phone, right?
Uh-huh.
So like at that time, like an iPhone, you can like hold down the text message and see like a tiny image of it, right?
Yeah.
On my dumb phone, I had to like open it, and it's just full screen.
Oh.
My dad's
That's
you know,
horrible.
defecate.
Oh,
And
I have a.
yeah. The other funny thing was my dumb phone. I had my text sound was the sound of a pump shotgun racking,
Mhm.
so it'd just be like, and then I would
And you open it. And
open
it goes,
it, and
pow.
I got a big old image of a mule log, poopy caca man. Yeah.
So, if the rules of the Santa Claus, the movie The Santa Claus with
Yes.
Tim Allen.
Yes.
So, like, if you kill Santa, you're the next Santa.
Yeah.
Would that be the same with the Kaka Man?
The caca man. The thing is, how would you kill? What if it was a prize thing though? So the caca man is constantly hunted, and that's why he's pooping in weird areas.
Well, I mean, if you catch him pooping in your yard, I mean, obviously someone's gonna like pull out the blicky. You know what I mean?
What if? Yeah, true. I mean,
This is America. Someone's gonna be like, "Get out of my yard!"
Yeah.
And then, bam.
Bam, shotgun. No more caca man. Yet,
But
lo and behold, your pants are eternally by your ankles, and you are forever the caca
waddle
man.
around.
Yeah, just trying to run away.
So it doesn't have a sleigh. It's just him walking like on foot.
No, he can like fly, but with different modes of propulsion.
He's just farting around.
Yeah.
He's just out here farting.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a... Oh my
It's
god!
the Kaka Man.
It's the caca man.
Kids, get inside. Get under the bed, kids.
It's like an air raid.
Just be like, oh my gosh. No, okay.
Or like how like during Christmas time, the airport will have like where Santa is. Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
Yeah.
Like that, but it's the caca man flying around.
Oh my gosh. Be like, no, but like they would be like really blurry pictures, like Bigfoot.
Like cryptid pictures.
Yeah,
of the
and it
caca
would just
man
be
out in
like,
people's
his
yards.
retinas reflecting off the flash. It's just like a
His rectum reflecting. off
No,
the
no, it's
flash.
just like he's squatting and he like sees you like over his shoulder. You see him like squatting in
Oh,
your yard,
man.
and they take a picture and it's super blurry.
Yeah.
I'd vibe with that.
Yeah.
I would tell
much rather
my
have
kids
Kaka Man.
about the Kaka Man.
Yeah. Because then it's like that could be any dude. He's not necessarily like magical in any way. He's just
He's a force of nature.
He's a dude. He is
Because
experiencing the forces of nature.
Yeah, because nature. He's just responding to nature's call.
Yeah. All right, you were about to talk about like a tradition or something.
Was
that was your
I?
favorite. Yeah.
What? Remind me what I was going to talk about.
You well, we talked about you would go upstairs and your parents would wrap the things,
Yes.
and then you were like, oh man, one of my favorite somethings.
Okay. One of my favorite things we would do is we would go to my grandma's house, who lived like 5-10 minutes away, and the entire family would show up. So like on my dad's side of the family, so it was like my dad and then his like 3 brothers and 1 sister. All their families would come, and they would stay at her house or ours because we lived really close. And Christmas Eve, we would go to the Christmas Eve service, and then she would host like this huge dinner for anyone that would want to show up.
Wow.
So her house was packed, including my extended family. So like everyone was just partying, having a good time. Someone was in the living room playing the piano. And no, well, we can talk about that later.
No,
if you
it's
want.
fine. No, we won't bring it up.
Yeah, so someone would be playing the piano. One of my uncles, he's a trained opera singer, so he would be singing "Oh Holy Night."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Daggone.
Um,
Uncle Teague popping off.
yeah. He's a big deal. So we'd do that Christmas Eve, and then we would go home. My parents would, stay up and wrap presents, and my dad would always say like his favorite part of Christmas Eve was when they were wrapping presents, they would watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Dude, that's my favorite Christmas movie.
Oh.
Yeah, we talked about that.
My favorite is this is a recent favorite. It's Arthur Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah, it makes me cry every time. Every single
Do you cry when you watch movies a lot of times?
time. It depends, really. Like sometimes I just watch a movie like to put in the background while I'm drawing,
Yeah.
and then other times like I'm phoned in and like
Zoned.
yeah, like
You phoned into the movie?
I'm phoned in.
Hello?
I'm like I dial them up. I'm like, good job, Chris Pratt. um, yeah, it really depends on my mood, but I rarely ever watch movies to intentionally cry.
Not too intentionally, but does it happen somewhat frequently?
I mean, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Like there are some movies that like you don't expect will make you cry, and like you're just a mess.
Have you ever watched Jack Frost?
No.
So I watched that recently. Me and Sarah watched it the other night. It's a 1998 Michael Keaton movie
Uh huh.
where I'm not going to spoil it, but basically this kid's dad becomes a snowman.
Oh, that's horrible.
And so it's like kind of like funny situational type things and
That's
like
horrible.
it's not horrible.
It's just like your dad turns into a snowman.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but it's also like
Well, like from
Sad
the
at the
outside
same
looking
time.
in, yeah, it's kind of tragic.
but Sarah was saying that it made her cry. I didn't see her cry, but I I felt it, like you know how you can like feel like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah, you can kind of feel it in your like
What?
in your stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't I rarely cry as is. So
Yeah.
I think it's interesting like people who do cry to like movies and stuff.
What are some instances that like make you cry? We're
It's-
dudes. We cry.
I rarely cry.
Really?
Yeah, I don't cry
man.
much. I think the last time I cried was when Sarah gave me my like showed me my wedding band before
Oh shit.
we got married.
That's
And
really
that
nice.
was like what, 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
So
That's really cool.
it's been a hot second since I've like cried.
Man. I mean, then you better watch a movie that makes you cry.
I know, I kind of feel bad cuz like people talk about crying and stuff and
Yeah.
I don't really do it a whole lot. I
Getting a little froggy, sorry.
I used to um I don't know, I used to be a lot more emotional when I was younger.
You just closed it off.
I don't know what happened. I just
Yeah, there was a time. There was
Yeah.
a point in my life where like nothing could make me cry. Like I was at like a funeral, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to,
yeah,
and like I just couldn't.
yeah.
You know, but recently I had a family member pass away, and I was fighting it, dude. I was like about to just like start bawling right there, but like the rest of my family was or my I have two sisters, so like both of my sisters were crying and my mom was crying, so I had to like be there to comfort them.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was like, you can fall apart later. You can fall apart later. You can fall apart later. And then finally I did have that time to myself and I just like bawled, you
Yeah.
know. And like I think that's like something that you know guys need to know is that like you can fall apart, but and in certain moments,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm definitely due. I think I'm overdue because I've had a
It's
couple
it's
times
coming, buddy.
I
It's
probably
coming.
should have, but
You just text me, be
Yeah.
like, it happened.
it happened. I got my period.
I can't come into work today. I
got
just
my-
watched Jack Frost.
I just watched Jack Frost and I got my man period.
Yeah.
It's hitting.
No. I'm trying to think what other movie made me cry recently. Because I've been like binging. Whenever I'm drawing, I just throw on a movie
Yeah.
and I just keep going. I'm going to check my letterboxd. Stall for me.
Stalling.
Yep.
Well, I will say on the topic of crying, I definitely dealt with like a lot of heavy emotional stuff when I was a kid
Mm.
that most kids probably didn't have to deal with. Because like when I was in preschool, my best friend in preschool died.
Mm.
and I've talked about it before a while ago on the pad. But just like going through that as like I mean, how old are you in like preschool? Like 6,
Like,
you know,
No, I think before. No, it was
five,
like 4.
like
Yeah.
5, 6 years old. And so going through that, like, I think emotionally, I don't know. I don't think it sapped me, but it kind of like set me up for sort of kind of how to deal with death and things like that.
Oh.
And that also kind of gave me like one of my maybe you're not the same way. I don't know. But for me, when something dies or someone dies, I have to see it and see them, like their body, to be able to like have full closure. And so there's a couple instances where I haven't been able to do that, so I haven't had like entirely full closure. Because like
Gotcha.
I don't see it as like, all right, their person is no longer here. They are someone else. This is just a husk, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's just something we lack in Western society in general is a lack of
we got weird traditions on burial.
yeah, emotionally dealing with burial and things like
So
that.
weird. I hate it. I hate it so much.
And yeah, so that's one of the cool things. Like when my grandpa passed away, his was technically a green burial, and like my dad like washed his body and like wrapped him up, and you know I got to see his body and stuff like up close and personal, and there's something like comforting and ritualistic about that
Yeah.
I think helps with closure.
All right.
That
So
not a lot of people get. Anyways, letterbox.
yeah, I got the movies that I have cried to. So I got.
Do you have like teardrops starred by each one?
No, I just remember them. So one of them that just like stood out to me was Romeo and Juliet. I'm
Really?
not kidding. The
I
yeah.
haven't seen it in a while, so,
So
maybe. But...
you know that one like flamingo?
No, I don't think it's been forever since I've seen Romeo and Juliet.
That was the mother-son dance at the
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
So that same song
Uh-huh.
by Elton John was in Romeo and Juliet during this one montage about how this flamingo had like a love and they like, you know, spent their entire time in the yard during like the course of like the life of newlyweds and they split up. And the newlyweds, you know, they kept the stuff that they, you know, owned.
Yeah.
So one of them took one of the flamingos with them.
Oh, and separated the flamingos.
Yeah, and then one of the guys was and the guy was the one that owned the house, so he took the flamingo and he just threw him in the shed. And
So he was just stuck in the shed. all
yeah,
by
and
himself.
so that just I don't know why. I think it was just I was so tired and like emotionally drained. I was like, this poor flamingo. And I was just bawling. I was like, how could he have done this?
It's like in Inside Out when Bing Bong or whatever his name is like sacrifices
dude,
himself.
Come on.
Like
They
that.
knew what they were doing when they did that.
Yeah,
They knew
that
what
one
they
was,
were doing.
That one was pretty tough.
Freaking emotional manipulation. Hate it.
Anyway, so I've been asking you a lot of questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Let me see. Well, I asked you like what makes you cry. So
I don't think there's like anything specific that like some people have like that makes me cry instantly. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if I have anything. like
Okay,
that.
okay, I got this. When you meet a new person, what's your favorite question to ask them? Just like get a read on them.
How do they like their steak is a good one.
Okay.
Because if they don't order it medium rare, you know, there's something off with their upbringing.
Okay.
I
I disagree, but okay. I don't know about like how you get your steak cooked is like a big thing.
Well, you can find out a lot about a person that way. Like
You just ask about their parents.
Well, most people who say like "well done" or "done" typically had a poorer upbringing, or at least had parents that came from a poorer background.
Okay.
And so you can kind of like tell like culturally how they were raised.
Interesting.
It's like the washcloth thing. Have you heard about that?
No.
So, do you shower with a washcloth?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
When there is a washcloth
But you don't have...
available.
Okay. So, there's a thing where if you shower using a washcloth, that is like a poorer middle class thing, specifically. Like, most poor people or poor middle class use washcloths to bathe with,
Interesting.
where most people above that don't.
Wow.
And it's like a weird phenomenon. Like, I would say we grew up like middle class, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I have a buddy who, their whole family, they all use washcloths.
Huh.
And it's like that's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't use one because you can just make lather on your body.
Yeah, you use the soap.
And just kind of you're scrubbing yourself. A washcloth just seems kind of nasty to me.
Like, just get some nice soap. Like some, I think that Irish Spring is like some of the best soap.
That's a good soap.
Like,
As far as like
yeah.
toxic stuff in
Yeah.
in soaps, Irish Spring's actually pretty decent on that list.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it also like it doubles as bug repellent.
Did you see the Midsummer spoof commercial they did?
I think so.
Yeah, that one was. Have you ever seen Midsummer?
No.
That might make you
But
cry.
that is a good rabbit trail I'd like to go down on
Okay.
about like pagan traditions.
Oh, and like Christmas?
Yes. So, I have this thing where I fundamentally don't understand why some parents forbid their kids to watch Harry Potter or play Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. Pop off.
So they say this, but they allow their kids
Uh-huh.
to believe in Santa,
Yes.
the Easter Bunny,
Yes.
participate in Easter egg hunts,
Also, sometimes Halloween.
and
as
let
well.
them participate in Halloween,
Yeah.
and also let them watch Lord of the Rings
And Narnia.
and Narnia.
Yeah.
Gandalf is a wizard,
Yeah.
which Harry Potter is a wizard.
Which I think like Narnia magic is closer to Harry Potter. Harry Potter
Harry
magic.
Potter.
Harry Potter magic.
Potter.
There's a freaking ice witch.
Yeah, and it's a magical lion. So like so parents, if you guys are listening, if you don't let your kids watch Harry Potter, I better not see your kids watching Lord of the Rings, talking about Lord of the Rings, participating in Halloween or any of that stuff. I want them
Star
to be
Wars?
wearing gray.
Harry Potter is
Dude.
basically Star Wars
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Luke uses magic. He magically uses the Force.
What is it called? The midichlorian
Midichlorians.
count.
You got the midichlorians.
Wow, his blood is chock full of midichlorians.
let me razz on some Star Wars fans real quick. There's this comedian where he was like at Galaxy's Edge, and he overheard a dad and his son talking about Star Wars. And the kid goes, "I really like the spaceship with the four wings." And the dad goes, "Oh, that's the X-wing, son." And then he goes, "I like the tank that has the legs." He's like, "You mean the AT-AP Walker?" That's like a recipe for like your child never wanting to visit you on the holidays. You want to get technical with your kid about spaceship names?
Yeah, man.
You're
It matters.
You're a grown man that pays taxes, and you care more about space wizards?
He might be on welfare.
Like, unbelievable, dude. Just let your kid enjoy stuff, and if they call it something different, just think it's funny. You know?
Yeah.
I have I don't understand. I don't understand why I'm so mad about this.
A good question to ask people, also kind of like the steak one, is like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. Like, that's a
Yeah.
baseline. Like,
Yeah.
question to ask people.
Were you allowed to watch Lord of the Rings growing up? Most of it was yes.
Yeah, it was weird. The first time I watched Lord of the Rings, they like made me cover my eyes for certain parts.
Oh, so you were a cover your eyes household.
Yeah, I got like censored, and then I could watch it again later.
My
Uncensored.
my household was a fast forward household.
Yeah, the thing is, fast forwarding was so jank back then, like with VHSs and crud.
They didn't care.
It was
They did
so
not care.
bad.
Oh man.
It's like in Braveheart, they're like, we're just gonna forward through this part. You know, it's like where they're
Like
like
the battle.
no, when they're like buck naked having sex and crud
Oh, yeah.
after the hoodlum wedding.
Yeah.
And so then they're like trying to fast forward it with the VHS, and like it accidentally starts.
My parents were my parents were 100% a fast forward household. Especially during the Red Box days.
Yo, Redbox.
My
It's a throwback.
that was a fun time because like, Blockbuster was going bankrupt, and
Yeah.
my mom would just go up to a Red Box and just like look at like the covers of the movies and just pick one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if she thought like it would be good for us, we would watch it.
Okay.
So like we found bangers like that, like Night at the Museum.
Yeah.
That
was a good one.
But we would find some real bad movies. Like there was this one where I think it was
So she's just picking it by the way the poster art looked.
yeah.
Dang.
There was a Jack and the Beanstalk movie that we watched,
Uh-huh.
and I looked this up later. It was awarded best worst movie of the year.
Was it Jack the Giant Killer?
No, it was Jack and the Beanstalk,
Uh-huh.
starring Chloe Grace Moritz and Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who played Jack or any of the other characters, but Chloe Grace Moritz was like the love interest of the kid. She was a pillow fight ninja.
What?
Hear me out.
What is this?
And Gilbert Gottfried as the Golden Goose.
Gilbert Godfrey was the golden goose.
They used 0 CGI,
Huh?
and Gilbert Gottfried was just him, his grown man self,
Yeah.
in a goose costume.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
So he had like rubber.
I'm scrapping out golden eggs by the pound.
That's literally what it was. And he would just.
I have so much golden crap coming out of my cloaca that it hurts and it stings
He was
every
riffing
time.
the whole time.
Isn't that what that's called, the cloaca?
Yes.
The butthole, pee-pee hole,
double, yeah.
double whammy
The
combination.
double whammy, yeah. So he would be like one point he was just going peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, and a baseball bat.
This sounds so bad.
It was awful. and also the guy who played the giant, they didn't like angle the camera so it looked like he was tall, like which you'd think they would do.
Forced perspective.
But no, they just gave him an ugly practical effects face.
That's nice. Nice touch.
Is it though? Because it was not. The whole movie was garbage, but we watched it all the way through.
I mean, sometimes those are the best,
Yeah, because I was like, it's got to pick up soon, right? It's got to pick up soon. It never did.
That's terrible.
Oh, I got another question for you.
Okay.
What was your first, movie crush?
Movie crush. Probably Padme. I mean, come on. Episode 2 Padme, where she's getting the suit ripped up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's probably the first moment.
You just wait. How old were you when you first saw that?
I mean, those movies came out in what?
Like 02, 03.
Okay, so I was a bit older by that point. I mean, I was probably 6 or 7.
Wow.
Why is that
No,
young?
you just went awooga,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You just awooga'd right there.
My parents say I had a crush on this lady. I'm not entirely sure if I did or if I just liked her show because I was that gay. But Rachel Ray, I watched her show religiously when I was homeschooled, and I even got her big orange book in crud.
Rachel Ray.
Yeah, but they said I had a crush on her, and I don't know if I did or not. I just liked cooking shows.
I have a follow-up question on that.
So, but yeah, probably Padme.
Okay.
Yeah, which I forgot that chick's name. She was in the Black
Natalie
Swan.
Portman.
Yeah, Natalie Portman. Yeah.
There's a song about people like realizing Natalie Portman was cute in that movie. It's called Natalie Portman 2002.
Really? Yeah.
I got a crush on Natalie Portman.
Did people not think?
2002. I'm your biggest fan, Queen of Naboo. It's a good song.
Okay.
Look it up. But my crush was I forget her name, like the actress, but it was Nim from Nim's Island.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
I don't know.
Was that the Bridge to Terabithia chick?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I was like, wow, this strong, independent woman.
Do you like them strong, independent types?
I do.
Do you have a muscle mommy in your sights for your future, Ethan?
I mean, for a while I did, but I'm talking to somebody right now.
Is she a muscle mommy?
I mean,
oh no, that's
she's more
not
of a
the
runner.
same chick.
She's more of a runner.
She was in Zombieland.
Was she really?
Yeah, interesting.
Sick.
Maybe this is not the same person, but Abigail Burslin?
Yes, that was my first crush.
Nice.
Yep.
When you were a kiddo.
When I was a kid, I was in like 4th grade when I first saw it. So.
All right, you said you had one final question.
Yeah. What was some like obscure media that you consumed as a kid? Like a straight to VHS tape that you just watched over and over again, or like a straight to DVD thing
Straight to.
that y'all just like suddenly owned. You know, where you're like, I don't remember this being on the shelf, and then you like pop it in, and you're like, I'm glued.
I think that movie for us was Fern Gully.
Fern Gully.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Fern Gully?
Is that like a Don Bluth movie?
No, it's got Robin Williams in it, and it's about these like people who are deforesting this area, and there's like these kind of like fairy people or whatever that are affected by it, and the deforesting people cut down this tree that the fairy people like trapped this ancient evil in.
Ooh.
It's pretty scary. It's animated and it's very cool. And
That
I know
sounds good.
if you've never heard of Fern Gully,
Yeah, you gotta send that to me. I'll watch it.
you might want to hit that up. But we watched that one
Add that to the visual library.
a ton. Let's see.
There were
Yeah, Robin Williams voiced this like, Tim Curry voices the evil thing.
Of course he did.
But yeah,
Spice.
he Robin Williams voices the weird bat thingy.
Dude, I've seen that cover
Yeah,
before.
it's pretty great.
Yeah.
And the logger guy gets like shrunk down and put in their world. It was epic before epic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not like epic, like wow, this is like so cool.
No,
but,
yeah,
like,
I've seen that movie.
the
Yeah.
movie with the like hummingbirds and the weird gunky people and stuff.
Yeah. That went nowhere, and it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. Also, Josh Hutcherson. He voice the main guy in that?
Maybe. I don't know. Josh Hutcherson kind of has like a default voice. I don't. His voice isn't really that recognizable. His face is more recognizable.
He does the kid in Polar Express.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Isn't that crazy?
That's his voice.
Yeah.
But Tom Hanks did the mocap
Well, he did the mocap for his
for every
character.
single character. Tom Hanks did the voice with the mocap for every single character.
What? Really?
Yes, that's true.
I don't know.
That's why the kids' movements are so uncanny.
because they're all
And the way that like the
adult.
face, like their faces move, every single one of them looks like Tom Hanks moving their face.
Hero Boy, Josh Hutcherson. Yep.
Wow.
There you go.
My obscure media is twofold. One being Storyteller Cafe.
That also Storyteller, the Jim Henson Storyteller series.
Oh.
Those are kind of obscure, and that was one we watched a lot.
Mine was the Storyteller Cafe is like a real place. But TBN got their hands on the rights to make an animated show
Mm-hmm.
where all the toys in Storyteller Cafe, apparently that's their. I'm guessing that's their gimmick because that's what the show says, where like they display a whole bunch of toys
Uh-huh.
in the cafe,
It's kind of like Small Soldiers.
kind of, but they come to life and they perform little plays about Bible stories.
Oh.
So like there's
That's
like
more
this
wholesome than...
pilot named Pete with his plane Gus. And then but they do like the sizing just so weird.
Huh.
All of them are like 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
They did it so weird because there's like this teddy bear who you could have sworn he's like, grown, like a big old teddy bear that you can like sit on. And his
Mhm.
name is Beans.
Like my cat.
Yeah, his name's Beans. And then there's like an elephant named Tina, and there's like a wooden horse named Gallop, and then a yo-yo named Tex
There you go.
that would grow arms and legs.
It's like that weird stretchy guy from He-Man. That could like...
Sure.
Yeah.
I never saw He-Man.
He-Man.
I'm not a He-Man guy.
And the
But
Masters of
I've
the
seen
Universe.
like memes from it.
Yeah.
Skeletor is iconic.
Yes.
He's
The running away meme.
yeah, he is serving.
Yes.
So there's Storyteller Cafe, and then there's two more. Mary Lou Retton's Flip Flop Shop.
That sounds gay.
It was weird.
Was it gay?
Might have been. I don't know. But their tagline was but their selling point was that it was
Flip-flops.
Olympic medalist Mary Lou Retton because she was a gymnast,
Oh, okay.
and it was her idea to create this show.
To sell flip-flops.
No, it was like Blue's Clues,
Okay.
but like
Flip-flops.
weird. Like,
Did they sell flip-flops to Bruce Jenner?
No, it wasn't even. They didn't even sell flip flops. It was just like a shop. They didn't tell you what they sold. It was just like a cast of weird characters. There's this one guy named like Lazy Bones, and he just like sits in a recliner. He's just this big fur ball. And then there was like Mr. Bump, and he was like the the cop.
Okay.
It was so weird, man. I don't understand why I watched that as a kid. And then there was so there's Storyteller Cafe, Mary Lou's Flip Flop Shop, and then Mr. Henry.
What are these?
Those are the lengths that my parents went through because they didn't want to pay for cable. So
Yeah.
they would buy these things from like Bible bookstores.
Oh man.
From
Yeah,
Lifeway.
the Christian bookstores that
Oh, yeah.
had that like weird smell. Yeah.
But they had all that VeggieTales merch in the corner.
Dude, the VeggieTales corner, you just go vibe out
You
over
just
there.
vibe out there, and then my mom would go out and buy like Beth Moore books or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Joyce Meyer books.
Yeah, Uncle Joyce.
Uncle Joyce.
Oh man.
All right, dude. Well, it's getting about that time.
Oh, all right.
This has been a fantastic
Yeah,
Blanky
man.
time.
We should talk more.
You enjoyed yourself. I know
love
we did a lot more last year because of the dynamic was a bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get some more Blanky time in and
Sounds
have
good
a
to
good
me.
time.
Yeah.
You have any final things to plug or anything?
Follow my art page.
I'm
please.
going to take our thumbnail while you're talking about
It's brother1_art.
Keep going.
And then something else. I'm wearing a shirt that a graphic design friend made. It says kind,
Kind.
and then on the back it says kindness is so gangster.
Yo. Kindness
So
is
my friend
gangster.
Jasmine McKeevers, she's got a bonfire website. Go buy her shirts.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's all I can think of now. But yeah,
All right.
I'm not gonna hang up first. You hang up.
Well, it's thanks for doing this, man. It was a good time.
Anytime, dude.
In the breastfeeding room. We forgot to mention that at the top.
Oh yeah,
but-
yeah. We're at the church that hosts the theater studio,
And they have a mommy milkers room that
a
you can
nursing
hang out
room.
in.
Yeah,
You can hang out. We put
it's
actually
really comfy. In
yeah,
here.
we actually put the mother's nursing knock before entering sign on the door.
Yeah.
With the perfect.
We're in mommy mode right now.
Yeah, we're in the perfect setting for Blanky time.
You betcha.
So make sure you get yourself some Blanky time. Cuddle up with your broski, your chica, or both of them, or whoever, you know.
Give him a little kiss.
Cuddle up with Jesus and get some Blanky time. Bye, Ethan.
No, you hang up first. You hang up first. I'm not hanging
Oh,
up.
you're such a good kisser.
You
Ethan.
hang up. No. Stop it. Stop it.